Hey guys, and welcome to our Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi review. Directed by Ryan Johnson, starring Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, John Boyega, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Oscar Isaac, Kelly Marie Tran, Benicio Del Toro, Gwendolyn Christie, Donald Gleason, Laura Dern, and Andy Serkis. My name is Scott Ellis.
The circus in town.
Joined here by Tim McGavick. What was that?
It's my lightsaber effect.
Okay. Tyler Switolski and Adam Franey. That's pretty good. That was not as good. No. That's not. What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Tim.
Yeah.
Relax.
Star Wars. Yes.
Can you give us a synopsis of The Last Jedi for viewers?
Yeah. While Rey finds herself having a harder time in Jedi training than she anticipated, the Resistance struggles with the First Order, who are hot on the trail of their retreat from a recent battle.
Sick.
Short and sweet.
We're gonna try and stay away from spoilers.
Yes.
In this first section here, but Tim, let's start with you.
They all die. Everyone dies.
Can you give us your general impressions, general thoughts about The Last Jedi?
Oh shit!
Super hyped for this movie.
Yeah.
Thought the trailer looked amazing.
Yeah.
Don't be PC. Tell us what you thought. I know you're afraid of hate mail.
I'm torn on this.
I knew it.
For a couple reasons. One is a subplot that is, I'm going to say bad.
Okay.
Like prequel trilogy bad.
Something bad in a Star Wars movie?
Yes.
Heavens. Impossible. Okay.
And
Heresy.
what makes it worse is that...
Was it this?
I don't know what
It's
that
highlighting
says.
something.
It says horse.
Yes. Yes.
Horse
There is a sequence. It's probably about 20 minutes cumulatively over the first half of the movie. That involves some characters
In a casino, we'll say.
on a casino planet.
Galactic.
And not only is it bad, and they should feel bad about doing it, it also does not affect the plot, ultimately. Like,
That we know of.
does not affect the plot
Okay.
of this movie. So completely pointless as well. You have like really good tension with like Luke and Rey and some other stuff, and then it cuts to this scene and
Why are you
movie
guys
just
even here?
Now there's one
drops.
There's one specific, very specific reason why they couldn't cut it,
Yes, there is.
and we'll get into that,
Getting into spoilers.
which is unfortunate.
Which derails the movie, I think, is a big sticking point for me.
Let's put a pin in that because I want to know what reason they had to tie
We'll
this.
get into
Don't forget
it.
about that.
Quite
Pin,
spoiler.
pin that to the mat.
Yeah,
Quite
quite
give it the
spoiler.
3 count.
Literally last thing you see.
Jesus.
But besides that, I had fun with this movie. I
Really?
will say, yes, Star Wars movies a little bit predictable sometimes.
Yes.
Shocked a few times in this movie.
Oh,
Movies in
I'll agree.
Yes,
I'll
there are
agree.
some very big surprises, some big fuck yous to some fanboys, which I thought was
Perfect.
hilarious because I'm not a fanboy. I've not spent the last 2 years theorizing about things, and
Wow. Shout out to Jake McCannell,
Yeah.
who literally has
yes.
every day.
Sorry to pause. Has he seen it yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he loved it. Derp.
So this movie contains, I think, 2 of my favorite Star Wars moments ever.
Wow.
And
There's a
Just not
couple
gonna
of
react
I will
fantastic
say
Yeah.
they're spoilers, so I won't say what they are, but they are amazing, and we'll talk about them. I think we should probably do brief pre-spoiler things. There's a lot to talk about, I think.
That is spoilery.
But I am torn because I'm trying to debate how much that subplot weighs down the movie in my rating. Don't know.
Sorry.
I kind of want to rewatch it before I like finalize the score. Like I'll say what my score is right now, but I feel like my score can probably go up a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe just leaving a bad taste in my mouth. We'll see. But yeah, that sequence is bad.
I think I'm gonna jump in
Who's
because
next?
I'll agree with a lot of the
Lay it down,
the
Scott.
sentiments that you just stated. There is a specific
Cinnamon.
the scene that you're talking about that I felt was definitely a detriment to the film, but overall I had fun.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. I do think it has its faults, pacing and that sort of thing, and it did sort of lose some of the steam, like you said, about halfway in.
Yeah.
And but I thought there was some fantastic moments, some great lightsaber battles, some great moments.
Yeah.
There was some scenes where, like, you know, maybe it was because we were Thursday night showtime and everyone is really into Star Wars. Obviously, they're gonna be there.
Yeah.
But you know, some scenes, you know, like the whole audience is like,
yeah,
like, oh shit, like,
all right.
You get into it.
It was a great atmosphere. It was a great.
It took me out of it when they did that. Like halfway through the movie, like when they were watching the movie, all of a sudden, like half the audience are going to this.
You mean
Shut the fuck up.
the one time? There's multiple times that they were clapping.
Yeah. I can't stand that.
Ridiculous.
It's like we're all watching the movie. Shut the fuck up.
Mid-movie is
Little
pretty
cringy.
ruthless.
A little cringy. They're giving their support.
It's only for applause. No one can fucking hear you.
I will say Daisy Ridley is fantastic.
Yes.
Like she just steals the you know, just the camera. She's like electric.
Yeah.
John Boyega's great, and Adam Driver, I think, is.
When people say they don't like his character, it bugs me.
I'm like, he is so good
Yeah.
as Kylo Ren
Best character.
that
Best character in the movie.
I don't know. I just love Adam Driver
Yeah.
and
Makes sense.
Dat Bod.
Mm.
Can we talk about Dat Bod?
He is
Real
beefy.
quick?
There is a shirtless
He
segment.
is
He is.
1950s man beefed up.
Yeah, like he's like beefy, but not like cut.
No, just
but he's
beefy.
like beefy. It was
He's
like
big.
he's like he's strong, and you know it.
Bane, Tom Hardy, Bronson,
Yeah.
Bane body.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is pure beef.
With his high pants.
And he was so beefy that he was speaking with someone. That person literally said, do you mind? Can you put a cloak on?
Can you put a cowl on, please?
Yeah.
Great words. Good use of the word cowl, by the way.
And
I liked that.
Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher were great.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill finally gets some screen time here instead of a look. He gets something to actually, you know, sink his teeth into, and I think he was great. And Carrie Fisher, rest in peace, was fantastic as well. She had a couple, one in particular, a great moment. I thought we'll get into exactly what that was.
There was
Some people I think were a little divisive on that moment.
There was one moment that she did that I could not stand.
Yeah. There's also a moment that I cannot stand. I don't know.
I think you guys are talking about the same moment.
I hope so.
You are definitely.
I need to see the movie again.
And I thought all the cast was pretty good overall. Like, there wasn't anyone that was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anyone.
No one?
Rose maybe, but I think her character was just kind of weak.
Yeah, I didn't love her.
What
Didn't love her
did you
character.
think of Benicio?
Liked him.
He's fine.
I loved him.
You like the stutter?
As someone who stutters, love seeing stutter
Equal
in a Hollywood movie.
representation.
This is your time.
Oh,
this is it.
shit.
We're coming in, guys.
I can't get my-
I have my own.
The worst minority ever.
I have my
People
own.
who stutter. We're in films now, guys.
Wow, dude.
Take it back. Take it back.
That's priceless. I do have my own reservations about the character in particular, like, but I thought he was just fine. That's the character. I thought it was good.
I liked him.
I like that. You know, he had his own quirks. You know, he was quirky.
He's a character.
Yeah.
Ish.
But yeah. Overall, I enjoyed it. Although it did have its faults.
Yeah.
What are you guys? What are your thoughts, Ty? Let's move over to you.
I very excited for this movie when you saw the trailers and whatnot.
Yes.
Very excited going into it. Coming out of it, I was pretty excited. I was like, you know what? I enjoyed this. But then the more I thought about it, and the more I was like, the more my mind started to wander, I was like, there was a lot that I didn't enjoy about this. Now that I think about it, there was a lot of stuff that
You're not allowed to
they.
say anything bad.
Oh, that's not true. I can say a lot of things that are bad.
You'll get killed.
There was a lot of moments in this where a lot of things happened that I did not like.
Didn't like.
There's like 3 off the top of my head that I can't mention.
3 off the top of your head.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna bring them now because
We're not
they're
gonna bring
very
them now.
spoilery.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think I'm torn, much like Timothy is. I'm kind of torn between two feelings, but I think I'm really more like I think they could have done better. Like I definitely didn't enjoy this as much as The Force Awakens. Like The Force Awakens, I think I gave it a 5.
Oh,
You
yeah.
did give it a 5.
I did, and I was the only one that gave it a 5. I think.
It's a 5 for me now.
Now it is okay.
Oh,
But yeah.
it's a heavy 4 for me now.
Light 4,
Heavy 4.
heavy 4. Okay, I think you also gave it a heavy 4. I believe.
I forget.
If I'm not wrong. Good.
It took 3 viewings to get to a 5, which is why I want to see this movie again.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this movie again, but I was kind of let down. They did some certain things that I think was just not the best for the series. I think they could have done some things a little differently. It would have been a lot better. But yeah,
You know best.
was that? I do know best. I do.
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, right. And actually, saying this actually like watching this makes me kind of nervous for what his movies are going to be like. So, again,
hot take.
spoiler. We're gonna have. Well, I can't really say anything until we get into the spoiler section. But yeah, not.
So
not the
overall,
best.
you disliked.
Overall,
thought
no,
it
I
was
didn't.
shit.
I know I didn't hate it.
Worst movie.
I still
Ever.
like it
Worse
was still
than
an
Phantom Menace.
enjoyable. Okay, let's not go that far.
Worse than Attack of the Clones.
Can I a minute, please? It was still like I did enjoy
Worse than
visually
Rogue
what was
One.
happening. Can I I'm gonna fucking smack you? I was enjoying like visually
than
what was
Empire.
happening, but like there was things
Worse
I
than
would change.
Revenge of the Sith.
For fuck's sake, Scott. No, I
Did you like it? Speak.
I'm trying. I am trying. I did.
have
So
failed
Todd,
to
what
like
did you what did you think? What's your general thoughts on Star Wars last
Do
year?
you like Star Wars?
pass.
Adam.
Adam, let's move over to you. You've been giving your 2 cents here and there, but what's your overall impression?
I've been hearing a certain T word quite a bit.
Tyler.
No.
Oh.
Idiot.
I don't know what word you're
Starts with
referring
an
to.
I.
Torn, guys.
Oh, yes.
Torn.
Okay.
I'm
Rip
torn.
Yeah.
I'm rip torn.
Yeah, Rip Torn.
Rip.
You're not
Rip
Rip Torn.
RP.
Uh, I. Oof. This is.
Spit it out.
Duh.
All right, Benicio.
Oh! Sorry, Tim.
What's his character's name, by the way?
DJ or something?
DJ.
I
Is it
don't know,
DJ?
fuck
It is
I
DJ.
don't know. I'm so torn. I loved the viewing experience for the most part. We saw it in real IMAX. We should say Colossus, the Colossus.
Colossus Theater in Vaughan. Shout out.
Vaughan, Ontario, Canada. Shout out.
Respect.
The set pieces were amazing. I think, the opening Poe space battle was amazing. Certain lightsaber fight was maybe my favorite Star Wars scene of all time.
Right at the beginning.
The climax was fucking amazing. But there are things that I think it's the most uneven Star Wars movie for me.
It has some really high highs.
The highs are the highs are unmatched, unparalleled. It has
They just has some of my favorite moments from Star Wars.
You hit the nail on the head. It has some of my favorite Star Wars moments, period. And it has George Lucas 1999 moments. Like, it has prequel moments that I was like, what the fuck? How did this get put, like, how did this stay in this movie?
I hope we're not talking about the same things. I thought that was hilarious.
No.
I don't know. But,
I was laughing my ass off.
well, I can say, obviously, this thing that everyone's kind of complaining about, the Finn portion in the casino, that whole chunk.
Sequence.
Yeah, I just thought it was so unneeded, and it felt like
They could have found an easier way to write around the problem that they were
there
trying to
had
solve.
to be.
Yeah.
How could there not have been?
Yeah.
Them riding those horses was literally the worst. Like, that was straight Phantom Menace. Like, that was so bad.
Yeah, I hate that.
Like, my cousin who we saw it with was saying after, he's like, the second I saw those horses on that racetrack, I was like, please don't tell
Oh,
me.
they're me writing them.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna ride those.
And just that whole portion I thought was bad.
Yeah.
Like, irredeemably. Like, it reminded me of Harry Potter, that casino they were in. Like, it didn't feel like Star Wars at all.
That's what a lot of people are saying. It doesn't feel like a Star Wars planet.
No.
It seems
It just
like
feels
a
like-
regular,
It feels like Earth. Like a
Like
casino at Earth, yeah.
and
Earth.
it's like a cosplay.
They're in Monte
convention.
Carlo or something.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very odd sequence.
And that little guy that comes up to BB-8 and is putting coins, I was like, is this Fantastic Beasts? Like, what
and
the
he's like
fuck
shooting
is
the
this?
coins out and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. Like it did, like
It was very George Lucas to me.
Plus the CGI on that character was terrible.
yeah.
The horses were terrible.
They look so bad.
I was like, what happened to Force Awakens? I thought there was like a strict practical creature only.
Oh no! When JJ stepped
Wow.
out, that was
That was abandoned.
Yeah.
Well, all the people, we'll call them, in the casino, those were all practical.
Yeah.
except for
Yeah.
that one little guy.
So that was like a pretty cool dude.
There was just
But
moments
I
that
guess it was just that one character.
that
That
little
was
troll thing.
yeah, I don't know. There's creatures and stuff, and moments that were clear CGI that I thought the bar was higher for like this new Star Wars regime,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And
Ryan Johnson.
for like photorealism.
yeah, I think Ryan Johnson really, really swung for the fences and really tried to do. I will say, obviously, the big complaint with Force Awakens feels like A New Hope.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like any other Star Wars movie.
It's very different, yeah. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. It's not like, okay, they just carbon copied Empire. It's not like that.
No.
Because there's a few choices that Ryan Johnson made that were like pretty ballsy.
I
And we'll get into those.
Right. I appreciate
Questionable.
it. I appreciate the balls that it took to do what he tried to
certain
do.
things.
I don't know if it landed though. Some of this stuff that I can't get into, spoiler stuff, was like, I was just like, I don't know, I don't think that sits well with me. But overall, I really had a lot of fun, and I loved the surprises. There was an actual surprise factor. There was multiple shocks, which we just don't get in blockbusters anymore.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely am I like in the theater being like, and like I legitimately.
Yeah. I sat
gasped.
forward at one sequence. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Is what's happening
really
right now?
happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some genuine surprises.
Well, let's give our ratings and let's move on into spoiler territory, because I think there's a lot to unpack
buckle
and a
up.
lot to get into. You want to say something?
No, I just said tons. I whispered tons underneath my breath. Sorry.
I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna say 4 out of 5. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
What the fuck?
I thought the highs were high enough for me that I can sort of forgive the rough metal sequence there, and some pacing, and I have some issues with it. But overall, I'll give it a 4. I did enjoy it quite a bit.
I'm gonna go late 4, but I think that I know when I see it a second time, it's gonna go up to a 4 because I'm gonna be anticipating some of those slow moments, and I can be like, okay,
Right, me
it's
too.
what it is. I can enjoy all the other stuff that I know is coming.
Right.
But initial viewing, late 4. Late
Tyler.
4.
I'm gonna put a term out here. I'm gonna coin a term right now called Kingsman syndrome. Now, here's my problem: is that there were a lot of things in this movie that I did not like.
You did not.
I did not. But the fact that it was still in the Star Wars world and I'm seeing all these characters,
It was Star Wars.
I was still enjoying it.
Yes.
That's the problem. Like Kingsman,
Yeah.
Because you love Kingsman 2.
I love Kingsman
despite
2.
being trash.
Because besides not like
Besides.
it not being the same and like it being noticeably not as good as the first one, I still love it.
I agree with you.
So that's
You're not alone.
thank you.
Not,
So-
not on Kingsman. You are alone on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kingsman
I'm
2 is
talking-
terrible.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't terrible. See, that's
still
the
bad,
problem. See,
Let's stop talking about Kingsman. Why
I'm
were
with
we?
you.
Why
I
were the
can't.
Anyway,
so here, that's my problem. Is like I'm going to give this
A 5.
I'm going to give this a 5, but I still hated it.
Give it
no,
a 5. That would be the
I'm,
funniest thing of all time.
I'm going to give
6
this
out of 5.
like a light 4, potential for a heavy 3.
Okay.
Because the problem is I still like
That's
what I
not
think
the
it's
same
I'm still
you seem to have the
starstruck.
most issues with it.
That's the thing. Like I'm still like I still was so excited to see this, so it's
I
still
have
kind of with me.
issues.
It was like a slice of life, like in the life of a Jedi.
Slice of
The
intergalactic
Last
life.
Took place
but-
over 18 hours, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah, it is like a slice of life.
brutal.
Adam, let's move over to you. What
What
would
did
you rate
What
it?
did you give it?
I like 4.
Like 4, heavy 3.
Yeah, I like 4 potential for a heavy 3.
Adam?
I'm going light 4, I guess. Like probably 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I'm thinking. For now, I know I have to see it again because I know I had a lot of issues with Force Awakens first time I saw it that I sorted out with myself and kind of found myself. Yeah. It's
All
a
right.
light 4.
Let's
Fuck
move
it.
into spoilers. Fair warning: if you haven't seen Last Jedi, really go see it.
Apparently, you have.
It's made the most money ever. So
Everyone's already seen it by now.
The whole world has seen it. That's a fact.
But fair warning: if you don't want to be spoiled
Take the
about
bank,
what
take the
happens, because
fact.
we're gonna get into it.
Holy fuck.
Tyler, let's start with you. There
so
was something,
scared.
a couple specific things you
Wait,
wanted
can
to...
I guess?
Yeah.
Is it Fairy Godmother?
See, that was
people,
weird.
People are calling it
Space.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
That's better.
See, that was the moment that I was talking about that I actually liked.
What was it? Where?
Of Leia bringing herself back.
Oh,
from the fucking-
that. I did not like that.
Why? Why?
Because
Wait,
in the
let's take a poll.
I'm going to say you don't like it because she's a woman and should not be allowed to use the Force.
no, I'm saying that she shouldn't be able to use the Force because she's never shown any ability of using the Force.
Wrong.
I just meant
No, what, in the
you like
movies?
it, though.
Yes.
When?
She had it She had a couple connections in Return of the Jedi with Luke.
With Luke, she talks to Luke, yes, but she has never like flown herself through space while she was in a coma.
Well,
Come on.
My father had it. My sister has it.
Yeah, but she has never ever practiced with the Force. She's never trained with the Force, and now she can instantly save herself from space when she's in.
That's what this
dying.
movie's about, man.
People always bring up so like the Jedi, like a lot of, and they even make fun of it in the movie about how they just lift rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and people always, it's a good point. Like, why can't Jedis fly? Because they can move a rock, a fucking giant rock. Why can't they move themselves?
They can jump super high and stuff,
right?
Yeah.
So she's not like she's in the air and she's flying, right? She's in space. She's floating in space.
Yeah.
So she's just sort of bringing her. It's like she's holding onto a rope and bringing herself forward. That doesn't bother me one bit.
She has never ever used any sort of.
That was the
force
beauty.
movement.
That was the beauty of that moment. Is that in that moment.
In the desperation of her like dying, basically,
she was gonna die.
If I was gonna, if I would have been okay with this if they had put like a bit of a struggle or something like that. Where like her move, it looked like it was like a cursor being moved from side to side. Like she goes
move in space, though.
And then back.
That's how you move in space.
That's not how you move in space. You don't know how you move in space. No one's ever been to space.
Same way in.
So like it's like if she had showed like some bit of a struggle or something like that, or she was just like kind of like moving, like it was kind of like uneven, unsteady. Like it seemed like she knew exactly what she was doing, and she had practiced this many times. That's what bugged me. It was so clear and so like.
I didn't even have a problem with the logistics. I just thought it looked fucking.
It looked bad. Like it looked like she was.
She looked like Mary Poppins or like.
It looked a little wonky.
It looked bad. Like, it looked like they just picked her up, turned her, and then just flew her down.
And also,
like it looked shit.
Like, R.I.P. Love Carrie Fisher. I thought that would have been a good time to kill Princess Leia, because they killed Princess Leia. I thought, why don't you just leave her dead?
I did want to bring that up because
not to be insensitive.
When that scene occurs, just before that, when the what do you call it? The cockpit, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge.
Yeah.
Explodes and she flies out. I was like, did they just?
This is how they're going to do it?
They can't.
Yeah.
They cannot. That cannot be it.
How they do
because,
it. That's it.
And Rian Johnson also stated, like, when Carrie Fisher passed away and they went back to the studio and they were looking at the cut and all the shots with her, and they're like...
Yeah, she had done filming this movie already.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They're like, it doesn't make sense to shoehorn in some...
memorable...
Some fake forced death for her character. Like, it makes more sense to keep her arc in that movie.
And then...
and later she has a moment with Luke and everything, right?
Yeah.
And with Rey at the end and all that. Like, and you would have to remove all of that, right? And then there'd be more unresolved issues. Like, what? She never sees Luke ever again. She doesn't talk about how Kylo is like a lost cause and all this. There's other important scenes that she has that would be just thrown away if they made it in that sequence.
I thought it was more jarring that she came back at the end and like busted through that door and was like showed up and everything. I thought it would have been ballsy, and it shocked the shit out of me when she got sucked out into space, and more motivation to hate Kylo, and just like.
I don't think you're supposed to hate Kylo in this movie that much. I'm okay with Leia doing it. I think it's great that she was actually able to use the Force for once in her life.
Really?
I think they could have handled it a little bit better. I probably wouldn't have had her float out to space. I probably would have had her, like, as soon as the bridge explodes, she, like, used the Force to, like, keep herself inside the spaceship before she goes flying out. That would have been about.
And the freezing.
Also, R.I.P. Admiral Akbar.
Oof.
Oh, that's
savagely dusted.
Let's move on.
There's lots of moments that we can talk about.
Was there anything else, Ty, you want to bring up?
The death of Snoke, I thought, like totally wasted that character.
I love it.
Like, they had such a build-up of this character.
This is why I love this.
He was so mysterious in the first one. Like, there was you had no idea who he was, what he was doing, his intentions, and then he's
this might be a good time to bring up that you and I made a bet.
Fuck off.
Ty stated a couple weeks ago, Scott.
I've been saying this from the beginning. We only made a bet a couple weeks ago.
I bet you $10. Snoke is Vader.
Step up for a second.
What?
I'm a big man about this. Step up for a second.
Snoke.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry off screen.
I bet you $10. Snoke is Vader. I said, Ty, I'm gonna take that bet. I will take that bet because there's no way Snoke is Vader.
Oh my
Absolutely not.
fucking god!
And I love that sequence because that was an oh shit moment.
Yes.
$10
Thanks, man.
on the table.
God bless.
Canadian 10.
True man of his word.
Pathetic.
Went everywhere.
I know. There's so much in my wallet.
Who knew that Vader wasn't
I just love that Ryan Johnson had the balls
the
to
cojones.
just say, you know what? You guys think Snoke is someone relevant?
Maybe like
Someone
having
important?
big balls in
How
this
about
is maybe
fuck
just
no?
an infection. Like maybe, you know what? Maybe having these big balls isn't such a good thing. Because
Well,
he built this
on who you
character
ask.
up.
He didn't build the character up. He tore him down.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like he intentionally made this character so mysterious in the Force Awakens, and then like we actually get to see him in number 8. Like you actually see Snoke
Let me
and
ask you this.
what he can do, and all of a sudden, boom, he actually meant nothing. There was no backstory to him. He's just fucking dead now.
Did you ever consider that maybe the fans made Snoke such a big, important character?
No, he did.
Nope.
When he's the new leader. That's a pretty big fucking deal.
Let me throw it out this way. I
Okay.
read this today. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Because I love the Snoke thing as well.
I read about
I almost laughed because I was like, that's a big fuck you to the fanboys who've been spending 2 years
Oh,
listening like
speculating.
every single character could have been
Darth
Snoke.
Plagueis.
Jake McCannell. Every
The
day.
reason that I love it for that reason, but the article was pretty much saying that like Star Wars, when it first came out, you had this one hologram of the Emperor in the first movie. Second movie, he kind of shows up. Third movie gets killed. No backstory. Don't know who he is. Doesn't get explained in those movies. The only reason you know who the Emperor is because 30 years later, the prequels came out and you got a whole thing about him becoming...
Yeah.
So he's like the new Emperor. He's just some
That's
evil
great.
dude,
But
but
he
just a
wasn't,
stepping
though.
stone.
You only saw him for like 30 seconds, and like that was it.
He's a stepping stone for
Exactly.
Kylo.
That's the thing. I
That's all it was.
don't see his Kylo. Like people say that he killed Snoke so that he could become the new badass of the series, right? Like he is the new
Kylo,
powerful.
he's
Yeah,
supreme.
and I don't think that he is. Like I honestly, I don't see Kylo and think like, wow, this guy has all the power of the Dark Force. Like, I don't think so. Like he just looks
He's
like
cocky as fuck.
he looks like he's just a weak little shit. Like
He's
he can
cocky.
get beat by someone who has never like used a lightsaber before.
Now, Ryan Johnson was asked about this decision to kill Snoke.
Yeah.
And what he said basically is, like, they're setting up these new characters, right? They cut off a lot of loose things here, right?
Yeah.
Snoke. We think Snoke's relevant. He's not. Luke. We'll get into that.
Rey's parents.
Rey's parents.
Rey's parents. Doesn't matter,
Apparently, no one.
right? But
Unimportant.
let's talk about
Allegedly.
the
Still
Snoke
stupid.
the Snoke death because it's all about Kylo. Snoke does not matter. Again, like Tim said, he is a stepping stone, right?
Red herring.
He's a massive red herring, right? Because what these movies are really about, if you really think about it, it's Rey and it's Kylo. It's the light and the dark.
Yeah.
It's about their story, right? And Snoke is just in the way of Kylo at this point. He needs to get out of there to let Kylo rise up and lead the First Order. Right?
I
Rey is positioned now to lead the rebels.
I don't see Kylo killing Snoke as a way of progressing Kylo. Like I don't feel any different about Kylo now that he's killed.
It's
Snoke.
100% progressive.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He still feels like the same guy to me, like the same like weak shit who is gonna get beat again by Rey. Like I don't feel like this changed his character at all.
Did you see him lobbing those red guards into fucking pieces and decapitating motherfuckers?
Yeah, but you see him.
Can
go
we talk about
against-
that scene as
I
well?
love that.
Like
Incredible.
It's the best
that,
lightsaber.
one of the
battle.
best. If
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
the best.
It's the best lightsaber battle.
When he catches the one at the end and just like turns it on and puts it through the dude's head.
Oh,
Yeah.
I screamed.
Great.
I screamed inside. I was like,
Even Rey, she's like stuck in this bind and she like drops her saber to the
Yeah,
other hand.
Very cool.
oh,
The backhand,
God,
like such like
stop.
inverted grabs it or
And
whatever.
that
shit,
whip
like
thing that like whipped around. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
When that battle first started and they like were facing each other and they both turned towards the guards,
And they're
I was
back.
like, "Is Kylo good? Is he? Is oh my god!" I was like freaking out the whole time. I was like, "Oh my god, is this where this is going?" And then
Yeah.
I realized like halfway through, I'm like, "Well, no, there's no villains for the third movie, so he's gonna go bad still." But halfway through that battle, I was like, "Oh, is this gonna be like
Okay.
Rey and Kylo just teaming up to fucking?"
But yeah, just the moment where they were back to
shit.
back,
yeah.
I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Like it was like edge of your seat.
Yeah.
Like
It
it
was
was.
that
scene was
moment that like
intense.
one of those like oh fuck moments.
It's one of my favorite Star Wars moments.
And even the Kylo turning the lightsaber and igniting it through Snoke's like hips.
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with the choice, you have to admit
That was cool.
Did you not
That was
shit
cool.
your pants?
Yeah.
I was like, what
It was fucking
the
crazy.
fuck are they doing?
Even when he still got stabbed for a second, I was like, no, he's fine. He's just gonna pull it out,
Yeah,
and then he just
yeah.
like slumps in half. I'm like,
He goes full Darth Maul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get slumped.
It was Darth Maul.
I knew it. Is he dead?
I mean,
Do we
there's
think he's
so
dead?
there's
He's got to be dead. There's a
it
hologram.
makes you wonder a little bit. Like, I thought this after. I was like, how did Snoke not sense that?
Yeah, right?
But
he was too
So, like,
busy.
turning-
It's a minor
taunting Rey.
thing.
Yeah.
'Cause he,
Sure, but
he was like all encompassed. Like, yes, this is my moment. Like everything he's saying. Like, yeah, Kylo's taking his turn. He's literally like narrating what Kylo's doing,
Yeah.
and then he killed his ally or whatever.
He's
Can
literally
we
like
say-
leaning forward in his seat. You know, he's like so excited, and then he
How
doesn't notice.
amazing was Snoke, by the way? Andy Serkis.
I thought he was great.
Yeah,
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like the actual mocap, the performance, like everything about him, like blew me away.
yeah, look great.
And I love the killing him. I haven't really said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ty.
fine.
I just thought it was so
You're wrong.
ballsy. It was the type of choice that I expected from Ryan Johnson and was hoping for, and like less, which like I was saying,
Just cuts off the fat, like, of
Yeah.
the movie, right?
right?
And with a couple of characters, and we should probably move on because there's a lot more. For example, Phasma, who isn't in the movie very much, but sort of,
Wasted
it's sort of
that
unnecessary. Her character is a little bit unnecessary, I feel, and I love that they had the balls to just say, you know what,
You're dead.
and at least she had a great, battle.
Did she
and sort
though? Like, it was good, but like I feel like that character again was just wasted.
See,
Like,
this
you have a
is
super cool
I
character.
didn't like anything with Finn in it in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not great.
But
There's a
I
scene
thought the
that
fight
Finn
was
is in.
fine. I thought it was a fine
bad.
fight.
yeah,
Right?
liked it.
I wanted
It
to see
was fine.
Phasma do more.
It was fine, but again, I like that Ryan Johnson's like, you know what, Phasma, you're not really
Dead
doing
again.
much. We're gonna have you come in. You're gonna have one moment there, and you're gonna fight Finn
It's our eye.
to sort of complete the
Gwendolyn
arc.
Christie.
You're cut.
But pretty much to complete her arc with Finn, and,
Yeah.
and just cut that off, and just let's move on.
Yeah.
Right?
Is she dead?
Oh,
she's
she's
fucking
yeah,
dead.
fell into the
She got
fireball.
fucked up.
Oh yeah, she got fucked up.
Did you guys like Chrome Dome?
I thought that was funny.
So
Yeah.
stupid, but I laughed.
Yeah.
But I laughed. It's such a
Very cringy.
Finn thing to say.
There's one thing I wanted to bring up that I sort of touched on a little bit earlier, where the
Ray's
audience
parents?
was like,
Oh.
"Oh shit!"
We should.
Is this my favorite Star Wars moment?
talk
This
about
guy's-
Admiral Holdo.
This is my favorite Star
Is
Wars
it?
moment.
Is
Yeah,
it?
Yeah.
Holy fuck! It fucking blew my mind.
Yeah.
Laura Dern's character.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oof, didn't
she's.
like her. Sorry.
Loved her.
I loved her.
I mean, it was sort of written as a little bit of an unlikable character.
Hate her at first.
But her sacrifice to save the shuttle
I know what you're
pods
talking about.
by turning the cruiser around and blasting
Fucking light speeding through.
light speed into the Imperial ships.
I'm gonna cry.
Literally, it almost brought me to tears how
Yeah.
amazing that scene was. Like,
The collective gas.
everyone's like,
Just
The silence
literally
on
cuts
screen.
the silence to the screen and just
Like
and you see that
dead silence.
it was like literally.
a jet stream through a destroyer.
Everyone just in sync was like,
I hate how it took her so long to think to do this, because like there was like 4 ships left at the end of it, and like 20 of them had died. Like she didn't think, like, even like to her, like in my
you were
mind
nitpicking
thinking
this
like
movie like crazy, man.
I'm like, just turn the ship around and like just block them.
It's
like,
funny,
just
too,
do
'cause-
something.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, she could just turn the ship and block it. And
Yeah.
then when she kept turning, I was like, oh, she's gonna do what I
Yeah.
hope she does. And
Yeah.
then just
I think we probably all had that
oh
realization.
my god.
in IMAX.
They're like, oh fuck,
too?
Beautiful,
she's gonna light speed into the crazy.
beautiful.
Loved it.
Incredible.
Literally my favorite Star Wars moment, I think, right now.
Yeah,
Is just gorgeous and is doing something totally brand new with like stuff we've seen before.
the space battles in this
Yeah.
movie were
They're
next
insane.
level.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of space battling.
Which is why I hate the casino part so much.
Well, the one thing that made me feel worried about
Ouch.
the big space battle was like, we got to do this quickly. You know, it's got to be done quickly. All right, get on there. We only have 18 hours. It's like, okay, I thought this was like an urgent thing. Like it seemed like they were like, we have to do this now. We have minutes to do this. We're like, we have 18 hours left to fuel. It's like, oh, okay, so we got some time. Like it didn't seem so
I
bad.
thought they had minutes.
Well, that's what it seemed like. It's like
5 minutes to.
it seemed like they're only gonna have like
Work.
get on the ship, get off the ship. But it seemed like everything was like an urgent, like everything was an urgency. It was like, we have 18 hours. Like, I feel like that seemed like that gave them like too much time. I think. Like,
I have to ask, do you guys think
it's a 2
it's that?
out of 5, right?
This is
Yeah,
if that.
it's obviously not the same rating as all of us.
Like, we're creeping down,
Everything
like,
we
and
hate.
again, Kingsman syndrome, because like I still am like picking it apart like this, but I still enjoyed it, which is the
Adam,
stupid
you had
thing.
something you want to bring up?
Do you guys take Kylo Ren's claims at face value of whose Rey's parents are? Or do you think he's lying, or do you think he
could be
believes-
lying.
I fucking hope he's lying.
Ryan Johnson said he thinks that he believes he's telling the truth, but he could be incorrect.
It's more so like JJ could do whatever he wants. It's sort of like he believes that Kylo said it from a place of truth,
Genuine place, yeah.
of honesty, but hey, anything's possible with JJ, right?
Well, here's the theory: is that
True.
the people who left.
Change.
Well, this is a theory that I've read. That people who left Rey on Jakku were not her actual parents. That's why he's saying that. Like they were. She was with someone else before then.
Yeah, maybe the people that left her that are apparently her parents weren't actually her
Weren't
parents.
actually her parents, but like,
That
like
too.
her parents were. She was given to someone else, and then they dropped her.
Tim,
off.
But here's a thought about maybe why her parents actually are nobodies. Because it sort of ties into what I mentioned earlier, that one reason that the casino scene or sequence
please.
had to remain.
Do tell.
Because it ties into the very last shot of the film of that little boy with the broom
Yeah.
who's from the casino planet, right? And you see him earlier, and Rose gives him the rebel ring.
Yep.
And it sort of shows that in the last scene that this kid uses the Force to grab a broom, and it just sort of shows that you don't have to be anybody to be used the Force, to be
It retcons Phantom Menace,
basically.
essentially. They're like,
Well-
you don't have to be a Jedi. Like, I guess it doesn't really retcon
doesn't
the whole
really.
Metacorian thing, but like, you don't have to be trained.
Right. That it's sort of within
Which Luke
everyone.
even says. Luke's like, the Jedi were like, I forget what he says exactly, but it's like, the Jedi were stupid and like, ignorant to ever think that like, the Force belongs to them. He's like, it's everywhere, just gotta reach out.
But they could have done that. They could have like put that sequence somewhere that wasn't like on that. Like,
It could have been done
they could
better.
put that
It
anywhere.
could have been done better.
They didn't have to put that on that casino.
That's what I was saying. They wrote themselves into a hole where like they had to get into the Imperial ship, and to do that they needed a code breaker, and there was a quicker and easier way of not going to some weird casino planet with horses.
Well, they had 18
But
hours.
basically, what I'm getting at is that
but it's got to be in there to set that up.
it's more so the idea that like you don't have to be from a famous family. It's anyone that can become anything, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of it's a nice theme, and that's why I think it doesn't matter who her parents are.
I feel like they're just like all he did was he just killed parts of this world, the world that they like JJ just like finished creating. You know, like Rey's
in the
parents.
best way.
No, see, I don't think so. Like I feel like they just killed everything. Like Rey's parents, mystery gone. Snoke, mystery gone. Like all this.
Luke, mystery gone.
Well, that's it. Like Luke's now like written off. You know, he's like, who knows if we'll get in the next one? Maybe it's a Force Ghost. Who knows? But like all this stuff they just spent the last movie building, like building this new world. They've just killed it all.
That's who Ryan Johnson is, though. Man.
Yeah,
he's a dark
stupid.
guy.
But I think it's done
They still
from a
make another
place.
movie.
It's done from a place that now we can focus on the new characters.
Yeah.
And sort of hand the baton off to the younger.
Yeah, there's literally no one
Characters.
remaining to be in that next movie if they don't. Like Luke would
Leia.
possibly submit. She's dead, so she's not filming
Yoda.
more scenes.
That's the thing. It feels weird that they left Leia in, like they left her character in it. Like
I
I was
wish
kind of
Leia was dead.
I
was alive, actually.
I wish they would have given her like some sort of a send off. That way, like I was like, hey, what's Leia doing in the next movie, kind of thing.
It's like what I said earlier that they didn't want to artificially create some awkward shoehorn of them killing her character off. They wanted to do the movie as if.
I feel like they did, though. I feel like her going into space was.
No, they filmed that while she was alive still.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I felt like it was added in. It was so awkward. And they had to, like... I'm like, what? I still can't believe that she, like, survived that. That blew my mind. I was like, what? I was literally like, no, don't.
They're doing
Don't
it.
wiggle. No!
There's something big that we haven't really talked about. We touched on it a little bit. Luke.
The
I
goat?
think we need to talk about Mark Hamill. Can we talk a little bit about
Mark Hamill.
about Luke's arc and his character and what happens with the flashbacks? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
What did you guys think of his very first action in the movie.
Just to toss a lightsaber.
Wink.
Great.
I didn't love that personally.
Disagreed with it myself.
I liked it.
I didn't.
That part I liked.
You liked it.
I did. Others like,
You liked it?
You liked something?
guys.
That was literally like the symbolism of what Rian Johnson was doing to all of your precious fan theories.
Yeah.
No, I understood why he was doing what he was doing. Like, that part made sense to me. He's like, nope, I'm not a Jedi anymore. Don't fucking hand this shit to me.
Savage.
Yeah, like...
I just feel like I totally know what Mark Hamill meant when he said he disagreed with everything Luke did, like, from that standpoint. So it's like, that's his lightsaber that he has all this attachment to. Last time he saw it, it fell out of his hand in Empire.
It didn't fall out of his hand. It was still attached.
Right.
His hand.
His hand fell off his body.
Yeah.
But also he was
like
trying to let go of the.
That's the thing. He's no
Force
longer a Jedi. Like, you know, he's sworn that off. So like giving him a lightsaber is like, I don't care what this is. I don't want to have sentimental attachment to something, to a part of me that's dead.
It's also been 30 years since he's seen that.
Yeah.
I fucks with that.
He's had lightsabers in.
I fucks with
time.
that.
Mm-hmm.
He is Yoda on Dagobah, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
He's gone a little crazy.
Oh, him sucking the milk
Weird.
and like pole vaulting that cliff and getting the giant fish was like, I was like, sorry, what movie is this from?
Is this Hitchhikers?
Is
Guide to the Galaxy?
Did George Lucas ghost direct the scene? Like, it was so wacky and like,
Don't
drink
The giant fish over his shoulder?
yeah,
Fucking
like,
weird.
it was like Master Roshi in Dragon Ball or something.
Right.
Like, ah, Goku. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, it's a little bizarre.
just like my eyes, like this does not compute.
What did you think of the island inhabitants?
Hilarious.
Oh, the nuns.
I love those
and the
guys.
porgs. I love them both. Yeah.
I like
The scene of The Rock knocking the cart.
Oh, I laughed
I
so
cackled.
hard at that. That was so
I loved
funny.
it too. I
It was
thought
good. It
hilarious.
wasn't over the top. They were like mostly practical.
I was
effects.
over the top. I'll admit when
Yeah.
that happened, I was
Yeah.
way over the top with it. I thought it was
Unlike
fucking
the
hilarious.
deer, it was good. They weren't CG over the top ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love Chewie trying to eat the porgs while the porgs are looking at him and be like,
Oh, Chewie.
amazing.
Fuck that.
Hilarious.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think we need to talk about the climax of the movie. And
Wait,
Luke.
The fight scene?
I have just one thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Misty-eyed when Yoda appeared.
Mm.
Frank
Yeah.
Oz.
Puppet Yoda appeared.
Puppet
I thought Yoda was great.
Yoda. When I
love
saw those
seeing
ears,
Yoda.
it was one of those moments where I was like, no
Yeah.
way. You are not. That is not.
They went full practical.
I love that they did like Yoda destroyed the tree and everything.
Oh.
You guys saw the books though, eh? Did you
Yeah,
guys see them?
Finn,
Yeah.
or not Finn, Ray stole the books.
Yeah.
Page turners, they are not.
Loved
Exactly.
it. Hilarious.
I love that he did it because it's just like it makes sense. Like
That brought me right back to my childhood.
Yeah.
Just that cameo. Like,
I love that he was crazy Yoda too.
Yeah.
Like I love
Crazy
that.
old
Yeah,
man
like
drunk
Empire
Yoda.
Strikes Back Yoda.
Like
Amazing.
like 40 years of opioids just like fuck with his brain, and he's just like insane. Other than they didn't use like prequel Yoda.
but yes, Crate.
Crate?
Great.
Great.
What do you guys think about Luke? Like and did you guys see it coming? Because I kind of saw it. I was like, oh shit. Why does he?
I was
why
confused.
does
I was
he-
like, did he just cut his beard? But I'm like,
Yeah.
it looks a lot darker as
Just
well.
for a minute?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Is
but
that just for me?
I read an article that when he's stepping on the salt, he doesn't leave footprints at all, but
Very nice, very
Kylo
nice.
does. So like, a
And-
keen observer would notice that.
Honestly, the second I saw the hair, I was like, something's wrong. This is
Yeah, I knew something was up. I was like,
this
something's
is
going on.
not him.
Yeah.
Like he's
I thought it was him. He was just like making his stance. You know, like you know what? I'm gonna get my hair
It's a
cut.
triumphant return.
I'm gonna wash my clothes.
He already dyes
Yeah.
hair and stuff. In the
But here's the
Yeah.
other thing that tipped me
How
off
does
though,
it
because
fade in situation?
earlier in that sequence, they're like, "There's only one way in. Like, there's only the big door. There's no other way to get in."
Yeah.
And he came from like the back way somehow.
Ah,
Like, how did he get in, right?
Yeah.
I wondered. I'm like, how the fuck did he get in?
Did you think that in the moment?
Yeah.
Really?
I was like, there's no way.
Smart. Good
Yeah.
point.
And then the Just for Men. I'm like, there's no way that he has Just for Men. Like,
It's
how does he
forced
have?
Just for
How does he
Men.
have access to that? Like, and he looked like the younger version of himself from the
Yeah.
flashback.
Great reunion with Leia. Gave her Han's fuzzy
dice.
dice.
thing, yeah.
Which was a forced projection.
Yeah. Yeah.
The dice was a force projection.
Again, much like the Yoda thing, is one of the few amazing like high moments in the movie for me. Just brought me back to my childhood.
The Leia Luke or the fight?
Luke walking out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Luke walking out of that cave. I haven't been so excited for a moment like in years. It was just like I was like my childhood came back to life. I've wanted to see Luke again. It was like Han. It was like the Chewie we're home moment.
Yeah.
Right. It was Han kicking ass in Force Awakens. Him coming out and like Kylo just being like, fire every gun we have at that man. And when they unloaded on him and the red salt went everywhere, I literally thought it was blood. I was like, did they just explode?
Yeah.
Luke?
It looked like
That's
he just like internally just boom.
Yeah. And then he did the
again the whole time. I'm like, how did he survive? If he had to be like a hologram.
Yeah, I was like, is he going God status?
Is he just like,
what's happening?
Like, there's no way he could survive that if he was actually there.
I thought he was gonna maybe like force pull all those like AT-ATs
Just
down.
go full on like just Neo.
Yeah, literally just go God level.
Yeah.
Like, stop the bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of like that they refrained from going like ridiculous over the top and kind of went a little more subtle.
Well,
right?
one of the reasons why I feel like I love that part, but one of the reasons that like I think that Kylo Ren isn't like at God status now just because he killed Snoke is that as soon as he came down, he like was not able to hit Luke in any way. Like even though he was like a force projection, but he wasn't able to hit the projection at all, which again just makes me think that
he put his lightsaber right through Luke's chest.
Yeah, but he let him. Like he just stood there. Like Luke just stood there and just let him. So like there was this thing that like he wasn't able to hit him, which means like he hasn't learned anything. He's not this new like powerful dark like Jedi. Like to me, he's still just Kylo Ren, a student that won't fucking listen to anyone. So like, so I just that bothers me. That now like I'm not as intimidated by Kylo as I was by Snoke. So to me, you killed off someone who was like a much better villain for
Snoke.
someone who's this. This fight was one of those reasons why I didn't like it, because I don't think that Kylo's changed at all. He's not a better fighter by any means because of this. So that's something that bugged me.
He could. I don't think you can judge how good of a fighter he is because he couldn't
hit a hologram.
Hit never before done God status force projection clone hologram.
What I was thinking was like it actually was Luke. I was thinking like because you look down, and you see like the starfighter down there. Right, yeah, let's go X-Wing. X-Wing.
He has an X-Wing.
So like it was down there. Like what I was thinking was like he was going to like force like up out of the water, put it down, because like obviously Luke knows like the X-Wing. I can want to say X-Wing. Yeah, okay. Like I want to say X-Jet, and I know that's wrong.
It's not right.
Yeah, so like he takes the X-Wing, because he was a pilot. He was like an amazing pilot. Like he knows the machines inside and out. I thought he was gonna fix it and then like fly there. I thought that was gonna be his moment. He was gonna like. The X-Wing was going to come out of nowhere and like just like much like the Millennium Falcon did, which was awesome, by the way. I love that.
That was great. Yeah.
The same thing was going to happen with the X-Wing, but it didn't. So
I mean, it was kind of someone brought that up, and it was sort of I didn't even notice, but he used parts of the X-Wing to like. For like the door of his hut was like an X-Wing part and stuff.
Shit!
Oh really?
Things like that. So
he
couldn't. I don't think he could even use it even if he brought it up. Like he disassembled it.
Yeah, I love the reveal of
anyways,
him being a projection. The see you around, kid, and then cuts to him, and he's actually back on the island,
like floating.
Oh,
yeah.
What do you guys think about him like dying? What do you guys think about that? Do you like that? I was a little perturbed in the moment. I was like, really?
I still feel like Luke wasn't used to his full potential. Like this character was kind of wasted. Like I wanted to see more of like actual Luke doing things, and yet what we saw him.
It was Luke's movie. What do you mean? You think there wasn't enough Luke?
I don't think that I didn't see enough of the Luke that I wanted to see. Like the most badass Jedi there was.
Like, the movie's not. It's not about. It's about this new. It's about Rey. It's about Kylo.
I thought there was more than enough Luke.
I'm also confused why people.
There was enough Luke. I want to see a different Luke.
I'm also confused why people would assume Luke's like a Jedi god. He's very untrained in Return of the Jedi. Gets his ass handed to him by the Emperor, and then Darth Vader takes him out, or takes out the Emperor. Like, and then he's just like, "Okay, thanks, Dad, for doing that for me."
It's just you see him like very little like
and
actual.
Obi-Wan's the Jedi god.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Vader's the chosen one.
Yeah.
To be
But-
technical.
I mean, personally, I was like, oh, like I was hoping, like when there was the scene when you see him back on the island. I always forget the name of that island, but
yeah, me too.
after he, see you around, kid, and he's like exhausted, like fully exerted himself, like to the
everything in
limit.
him, yeah.
I was kind of sad. I'm like, really? That's gonna kill him?
No.
Like I expect him to be like fucking like pass out and be like, take it completely out of him. But
I
was a little
didn't
disappointed.
expect him to die that way.
I was a little disappointed that he died.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of underappreciating the feat that he pulled off.
Right, and I understand that.
Never been done.
Sure.
Never will be done again.
But is that like
probably.
good enough to like exit the character though? Like is that like that's how he should go
Yeah,
out?
he sacrificed himself to let everyone get away.
I sort of compare it to like
Jedi
I know
mind.
what Leia did isn't on the same level.
Oh.
But like Leia exerted herself to the extreme, like she'd never really done that before,
But she did it.
and she just kind of passed out and had to be like revived.
Another reason why that's dumb. Why
Right.
that's
But
so
Luke
dumb.
exerted himself fully and died.
And did he learn it from the books that he was reading? Like, is that how he learned that new power?
Probably not.
I doubt
Because
it.
Yoda's
No.
like, the books are shit.
Yeah.
Page
True.
turners there or not.
True.
I don't know. But I'm okay with them leaving the character behind because, again, I understand where Rian Johnson and Lucasfilm is coming from. They're trying to pass the torch.
And he will obviously be Force Ghost Luke in
Oh,
episode
yeah.
9.
Do you think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to do episode 9 without Luke. Do you guys think?
I don't know. I'm getting a feeling that Luke's not coming back.
I think he has to.
I think it'll
He
be
literally says, if you strike me down in anger, I'll be with you forever.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I just like from the way that Mark Hamill's like interviewing and stuff like that. Like it seems like he's like there might be like it's uncertain as to whether or not he'll be coming back for sure or not.
No, I think he will. I think it makes sense to have him sort of almost like haunt Kylo.
Yeah.
that's
That
what
I get that. Yeah, but I just don't know if he will come back. Like it just seems like it's
I
kind
think
of.
you will.
I think he will.
Oh.
It's Star Wars. It's Mark
Um,
Hamill. I think he
I have
has
a
to.
question.
Yeah, you
Mm.
What did you guys think of Mark Hamill?
said Mark Hamill.
Mark Camel, the camel, Luke trying to kill Kylo in a moment of weakness, or Ben, should I say, while he was training him. What do you think of that whole flashback?
It's good.
Pretty fucked.
I like
Fucked
that.
up.
I liked how there was like
Multiple sides to it,
it's sort of you see it once and you think it happened this way, but it actually happened a little bit differently.
and then it happened to
Yeah, and then you see Kylo's version,
Yeah.
and then you see what probably actually happened, where like he has like a very brief moment. He like turns on the lightsaber and
He's
is
like,
immediately
"Shit,
like, "Oh shit,
I can do it now." And then he realizes, "Fuck,
No,
What am I
fucked up.
doing?
I can't do this."
Yeah.
But it was too late
Yeah.
because Kylo saw him,
Yeah.
and then
That's like heart wrenching. He did cause Ben Solo to become Kylo Ren, really.
Oh, yeah.
By that.
right.
That's fucked up.
Oh, yes.
It's fucked up, man.
What do you think of this dark place?
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I was like inside. She was like Ray was like inside this weird mirror
Yeah,
world.
Yeah.
What did it mean?
that's the thing is I didn't get any like dark
Her parents are
forces.
nobody.
I didn't like.
That's the thing, right?
I didn't get like this is
She
a
asked
place
it.
of darkness. Like Luke said, like this, like you went right to the dark place. Like honestly, I didn't think it was that
The
bad.
sunken place.
What's that?
Oh,
This is like Get Out. It's like Get Out, man.
No, because like the dark side of the Force always like draws you to what like you want the
Yeah,
most.
your desires.
And her desires to know who her parents are, or like,
Yeah.
know where her parents are.
And it led her to.
And then she went. He's like, you didn't even try like avoiding it. You just went straight forward. He's like, fuck yeah, I want to know what. Let's do this.
But I think it answered her question. You know, her deepest desire was to know who her parents are,
Yeah.
They're no
and
one?
it
Apparently.
answered that. Her parents are nobodies.
Jeez.
You think it would be like your parents are, you know, Deborah and George.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody,
Deborah
right?
and George.
Whatever.
Two of the whitest names possible.
You know, you think it would say like realistically, it would say like what, like it would tell her who
Yeah.
her parents' actual like names are, but
No.
but it just said nobody. Basically.
And like her and Kylo, like having the Force Skype chat.
Did you guys get this that maybe they might be brother sister? Did you guys kind of get that?
No.
Because like they can communicate the same way that Luke and Leia can, right? So like
I got,
it's just
I
they
got
have
a bit of that vibe.
they have like
yeah.
a natural and like they actually share like their stories, like their connections are kind of very similar to the way you get Luke and Leia. You know, Luke was kind of abandoned on an island, forced to grow up with
They're not.
his family.
I was gonna say Snoke explained what happened, but okay.
I know, but he did.
What?
But if you look at their characters, though, like there's some theory
yes.
behind
Yes.
like this idea.
That's why people would think that.
What did Snoke say?
He's like, I tethered your minds.
Yeah,
He's like,
I made it. So
I led you into thinking that this was you had some connection,
Yeah.
but
So there's
I actually created this.
Yeah.
But like the fact that until he
Idiots.
said that, like they had you, they
Yeah.
they totally faked you up by thinking like, hey, you know what? Like there's kind of similarities to.
And he
Got me.
actually
Yeah.
felt physical matter was transferred. He was wet that time when it
Yeah.
was raining. I'm
There's
sure.
also new Force stuff that's never happened before.
Yeah, crazy.
Boom. Teleportation.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. They definitely added a lot of new
Fuck me.
sort of force things that we never seen before.
Yeah.
Ryan
The
Johnson
projection, the
making new canon.
Which is
transferring
nice
of
because
matter,
in the previous movies, the Force is literally just like Darth Vader like ripping down like a piece of like grating and like throwing it. That's all the
Yeah.
Force has ever been. It's just like moving
Electricity.
stuff, being like,
Yeah. Sorry, what was it
Minus
like?
the groan.
I like that they're adding.
Moving rocks.
That's all it.
I just think it was just moving rocks.
Moving rocks now.
Pull my laser sword out and kill an army.
Is there anything more specific you guys want to mention, or is it are we covering kind of a?
I like Poe. We didn't even mention
I was
him.
gonna say,
He's a
Paul,
nice arc.
my boy.
I love
He
that he
also
got
being
demoted and
hilarious.
slapped.
Yeah.
Like that was hilarious.
He was kind of humanized. I feel like.
Yeah.
Because in the first one, he's just this cool, like Force Awakens. He's the coolest guy in the room. Can do no wrong. Like makes zero mistakes. He's like an action figure.
It's
This
a classic like archetype, right?
Yeah.
The like hotshot character who like knows better than the like superiors
Yeah.
who are doing
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
stupid, and he knows the right way and nobody believes him.
Listen.
And then eventually they, it's revealed that they did know what they were talking about, the hotshot person,
Yeah.
and everyone was wrong and they're right.
Yeah.
But I love that it was sort of turned on its head.
Like, nope, you got like a ton of people killed.
Like, oh, you got a bunch of
Which
people.
she did.
Yeah.
The
Like there's
Dreadnought.
so many
Can we
bombers
talk
that
about the
were
beginning?
destroyed.
I really like that opening sequence. I don't know if we really talked about it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
And
Real IMAX.
I actually really
Shot.
like the tension that was built with Rose's
Paige.
sister.
Yeah.
Paige. And how, like, when she fell down the stairs and the sort of trigger was at
Holy
the top,
fuck. I was triggered.
and she was, like, trying to kick the ladder, I was like, oh, man. that's
That
great.
drove me nuts. Like it took her way longer to kick that thing down than it would have she just gotten up and gone on the ladder.
She was obviously like back broken or something.
She could still kick.
You have so many weird problems.
She
man.
could still
But
kick.
What
she
is
needed
wrong with
it.
you?
Obviously, her legs were fine.
But she needed it right now. It would have taken too much time for her to climb up.
It took her way too long to kick that down.
Anyways,
Way
I thought it was
longer.
great. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
When she like reached down to catch the falling trigger, I thought she was gonna I thought she lost it, and they were just gonna blow her away. I was like, holy fuck!
We can also skip by the problem that those giant space doors open, letting whatever sort of vacuum sealed airspace she had.
A lot of those
completely
spaceships have
open.
like force fields.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
I didn't see a force field. There wasn't a force field letting those bombs down.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying. Just saying.
Just saying.
How do they drop? Like, are they pushed?
Gravity fed? I don't
Is
know.
gravity
No gravity.
Space. How do
No
they
gravity.
Ooh.
How do they just drop in
Stupid.
space?
Yeah.
They're fucking propelled.
They had the little mini engines on them.
2 out of 5. I'm out.
Yeah, right?
Ryan Johnson, your shit.
Potential for a heavy 3? Nah, definitely a heavy 3.
I think we pretty much covered most of the bases.
Yeah, we
here.
did.
One last thing. I would have been very okay if Finn died. I was like in that
Oh.
moment when he's like flying towards her. I'm like, oh, if they killed Finn too, I'm like, I'll miss him, but what a way to go out.
What about that kiss?
Great
What do you guys think of that
sacrifice.
kiss?
Awkward. He did not
Cute.
want that.
Oh, yeah.
Because he clearly loves Ray.
Yeah. He did not kiss her back. He was kind of like,
Whoa!
Well, I don't know
It
now.
felt
Now-
like me viewing it. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Ew.
That was forced.
no,
don't
he
do
was
this.
very awkward about it.
It was Force.
And he gave
I
Ray
think
a
the relationship
massive
was
hug when he
terrible.
saw her.
Yeah. Like, she ruined his moment. That was like his hero's death. I
know.
wanted him to go.
That would have been so many deaths, though. That would have been like almost too much.
I probably would have left.
Disney was like, Ryan, fucking cool it.
Relax, bud.
Yeah.
Fucking,
You're going full dark mode.
And it's
let's kill
confirmed.
Finn. Let's kill Poe. Let's kill Phasma. Let's kill. Like, let's
Luke.
just kill everyone.
Let's kill Snoke. Let's fucking...
Luke's fucking dead.
Let's have those horse
They
races.
forgot to say Luke. Oh, what?
JJ is confirmed to do 9.
Yeah.
That's so. I think that because JJ produced this, right? He's a producer on this, so I feel like everything that's happened.
I don't know.
He was a consultant on it also. Like, Ryan had to consult.
Yeah, so I feel like everything that's happened is somehow there's still room in 9. So it's not all everything that's happened here. It might not be the end of it. You know, like with Ray's parents, for example. Like that seemed like they just kind of blew right over that. So I think that there's a lot more room for that later.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It definitely opens a lot of doors.
They definitely closed a
opportunities.
lot of
Yeah.
doors.
They closed some doors.
They closed a shit
Closed
ton of
opened-
more
doors.
than it
They
opened.
opened
Yeah.
a massive door, I think, with just like, so what now, right?
Do you
It's
think
sort of
that
where's this
kid
going?
at the end, which I thought was cringe, by the way, I didn't say that. I did not like the kid at the end with catching the broom and like looking up to the shooting stars.
I think we can all agree that kids in Star Wars movies not great.
Should not exist.
Yeah, it's
Should not
weird
have
that kids
kids.
exist in this world. I think it's just
Kill-
kind of
kill 'em
odd.
all.
Every time I see him, I'm like, this is weird.
And this was no different.
Yeah.
Not great.
Oof.
Not great.
Yeah, do you think Ryan Johnson's new trilogy is going to be that kid?
Shit.
I don't think so, because I think it's going to be too tied to this trilogy.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be like that was like a nod? Meaning like his new trilogy will be just
People with
new.
yeah, just like no Jedi, so it'd
Yeah.
just be like people with the Force that exist in this world.
Because apparently it's supposed to be nothing like these ones. Isn't that what
Brand
you
new,
said?
brand new.
Nothing
Yeah.
we've seen.
Yeah.
People are saying Knights of the Old Republic. No. Apparently it's like just a totally... He said, I have an empty canvas. I can just do whatever I want.
I think I know we're going off on a tangent talking about not Last Jedi, but I personally believe he'll do Knights of the Old Republic, but not in the way that you think. Like Knights of the Old Republic is a specific story with like Revan and these certain characters, right?
That era, but his own story. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I think he'll. I think he'll do. I want him to do like, and again, I've been hoping that for this TV show, right? Like Game of Thrones in space. Like I want him to go like medieval with it, right? Like just way in the past, right? Like Knights of the Old Republic era,
Stop.
but not Knights of the Old Republic storyline and characters, because that was a storyline. There was a plot in those games.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But then create brand new stories and characters, but just in sort of in the past of the Jedi and the Sith and that sort of thing.
Very cool.
Be amazing.
But I think that'll do it for our review of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Tim, where can people find us?
People can find us on Twitter at UpReal8. You can find me personally on Letterboxd at UpRealTim and on Instagram at TheCraftPundit.
You can find me on Twitter at Franey25. You can also find me on Letterboxd and on Instagram at UpRealAdam.
You can find me on Twitter at Mogi6, I guess. And on Letterboxd that I don't use at UpRealTie.
You can find myself, Scott, on Letterboxd at UpRealScott. And yeah, guys, if you enjoy this video, leave a like on it. Leave a comment below in the comment section if you want to join our discussion about The Last Jedi. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, keep it real.